fundamental to helping to ensure the performance of your enterprise is an understanding of a key concept, and that is a culture of excellence. We're going to talk about that right now on this episode of FLS TV, where we are Performance at Work. I'm Dr. Joe Fierro. Let's get started on that right now. Fundamental to ensuring the high performance of my team is to be clear on a very important concept with my higher authority, my direct supervisor, or the chief executive in the enterprise. Whether it was military, corporate, not-for-profit, or government enterprise, this is an important concept that if I don't get clear right from the beginning, I'm in for trouble and bumps in the road of driving higher levels of performance with my team and the enterprise. The way I address this issue is to engage in a question with the leader, and that is, what makes a great organization great? I answer this question to myself, even with my direct reports. What makes it great year after year? It survives departure of the highest performing people on the team. It survives departure of even the chief executive. It's the kind of place that when people are hired to work there, inevitably others will say, that's a great place to work, which I love to think you have one of these places as well. And the answer to the question is, it's the culture. There's something about the energy in that place of employment that causes people to achieve higher levels of performance that seems unattainable in other places. And so, other answers I've heard include the location. It's the location that makes it a great place to work, or it's high levels of pay. And in my experience, I can tell you right now that I know some prime locations that people would give anything to work, but they have the lowest levels of morale, poor levels of engagement. How can that be? It must not be the location. How about pay? Could pay be the thing that causes people to perform really, really well in an organization? Sorry. I also know places where people were paid exceptionally well, but their levels of engagement were in the basement. Their levels of morale just weren't there. It was really an unfortunate scenario. But the one thing we did find, and the research supports, is that it's the culture that enables this high levels of performance and a great workplace. Now, precisely, more specifically, what kind of culture? Culture is a very broad term. And as a leader, it's incumbent upon us to make clear the kind of culture that we expect. And in my experience and the conversations with my leaders and my team members, it is a culture of excellence. Now, careful. Record scratch. If you believe this word excellence, world class, and the like are buzzwords or fluff words, I want you to look in the mirror, because the people who make them buzzy or fluffy are the people who don't really know what they mean, nor how to achieve those levels of performance or that kind of a culture. So you can go ahead and click away right now. See ya. For the rest of us, let's talk about this culture of excellence. Now, with my leaders and myself, I want to have a little more granularity. Culture of excellence, that's a rather broad brushstroke term. Give me some more specifics. What am I seeing in this company, in this military outfit, this government organization, this not-for-profit? What's happening there when I arrive at work? This is what you're going to see. Visionary leaders. Leaders that are able to express a future state in such a way that the rest of the workforce wants to be a part of it. They want to put in an application to work there because the vision, it is ennobling. It causes the high performers to want to come there. Visionary leader, database decisions as opposed to willy-nilly decisions on the fly. Now, there's a time for that. Normally at the beginning of a business cycle, when it's a startup, entrepreneurialism is really at play. That's a subject for another time. In a culture of excellence, an organization high-performing consistently, database decisions. They're using employee engagement data. profit margins. They're using measures of efficiency, effectiveness, customer satisfaction, and the like in order to, while making decisions about how to drive higher levels of performance, database decision. Total involvement of the workforce. In other words, the executives don't view their workforce as just a heartbeat, something that's there, a machine of sorts. No, instead they engage them with the purpose, the mission, the vision, the goals, objectives. They help them to see how they fit into the enterprise. Strategic and systems thinkers. In other words, people don't see themselves as an island. In other words, as silo. They're just all by themselves. The work that they do, they have no concern about the impact it has on other people. This would be an individualistic view of your role in an organization, not in a culture of excellence. In a culture of excellence, every employee has a systems perspective. Their blinders are opened up wide. They see how their work impacts somebody else's work in the hierarchy, in the system, in the production of the organization's purpose. Systems thinkers. Now, and the question would be, is how do I get this culture of excellence? Joe, well, once again, the research has been done, and I have seen this unfold. I've seen it work. I make it work with the organizations, enterprises I work with. Love to see and hear about your success as well. There's a framework that these organizations engage. There are 7 areas. They're called categories, but let's call them 7 areas for right now that organizations exercise in order to strengthen their capabilities. For the sake of time, I'll tell you what they are today, and as we move forward into Season 1, Episodes 11 through 20, I'll get in a little more specifics about each one and what you can do to exercise them, the systematic approach to enterprise excellence that strengthens your culture of excellence. The first thing is leadership. The leaders set a direction. They're clear. They facilitate two-way communications. They ensure the engagement of the workforce. The second area, strategic plans. They have set a direction, and it is written, it's codified someplace so that the workforce can read it and study and examine how they fit in to help support the strategy. They're focused on the customer. They understand the customer's expectations. How? Because they've asked them. They understand whether their product or services are meeting their expectations. They study and innovate and look for opportunities to improve, to exceed their customers' expectations. Customer, that's the third. The fourth, information, data analysis, and knowledge management. That's the fourth area. In information and data analysis, they have data, and it's more than raw numbers. They've converted the data into usable information and feed it back to the workforce so they can self-check and monitor how they're helping to achieve the organization's purpose and intent. Together, they exercise a concept known as knowledge management. And that is the capturing of high-performance best practices within the organization that otherwise might be a person bringing to the organization, the enterprise, but adopting those methods that the person brings and managing the knowledge in such a way that we don't lose it. It's not lost, so we can study it, take a look at it, improve upon it. The fifth area, human resource, people focus. Do they have the safety equipment, the safe work environment? Are they clear on the direction of the enterprise? Are they supported by their supervisors? Do their supervisors know what they're doing? These are the things in a culture of excellence that executives and employees there don't leave to chance. The sixth area is operations or process management. That is the improvement, continuous or continual improvement of the processes that you currently have in place. First off, map the systems, map the processes flow charting them, understanding what their capabilities are and how they're supposed to be performing, studying for disconnects and gaps, and then closing those gaps, oftentimes through the use of systematic problem solving or performance improvement. Lean Six Sigma is one. Focus, analyze, develop, execute. Plan, do, check, act. These are systems of performance improvement, systems of process management. And then finally, the seventh area is performance results, a dashboard of performance indicators. I don't know about you. Here's the question I like to ask. How long would you stay in a basketball stadium, in a basketball arena, watching the team play if there were no scoreboard or a clock that showed how much time was left in the game? How long would you stay? Professional athletes playing. They're doing well. They're making three-point shots. They're passing behind their back. They're doing all these fancy, great plays. You love the entertainment, but if there were no scoreboard, how long would you stay and watch that game? People I ask about it, some of them say, I'm not even sure I would go to the game, or I'll stay as long as the beer lasts. This is some funny stuff, right? Yet, there are there are corporations or organizations today that function as a team, but there's no way for the team to tell how well they're doing. There's no scoreboard. In the seventh area, the organization that has adopted and internalized a culture of excellence, what they are doing is they ensure the score is understood. The performance data is available for their team. So recap real quick, the 7 areas for a culture of excellence: leadership, strategic planning, customer focus, information analysis and data analysis and knowledge management, human resource focus, process management, and performance results, scoreboard, performance indicators. That's how you ensure a culture of excellence. These are the areas that you focus in on, you exercise to strengthen a culture of excellence. That would be a more accurate way of putting it. And this culture of excellence is essential, that without it being clearly stated by the executive or the senior leadership team, you're going to be in for trouble, because people are just focused on a whole bunch of different areas and they're just trying to figure it out. It doesn't have to be that way. There is a better way. I am Dr. Joe Fierro, and I hope that you enjoyed this brief interlude, this brief introduction of what we're about to cover in a little more detail as we're moving forward, all part of improving your abilities as a leader to help ensure the performance of the enterprise that you're serving. This is Fierro FLS TV, where we are performance at work. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. And if you didn't, give me a thumbs down. Give me some feedback. I'd love to hear from you. Either way, comment or some experiences that you have implementing a culture of excellence. I'm sure others would benefit by that as well. I'd also invite you to subscribe to this, because we're about to roll out several more episodes here, and these will start to get into a little bit more of the how-tos, along with some PDFs that I'm sure that you'll find some value to. So till then, thanks a lot for tuning in. Thanks for the extra time here on this particular video. I'm Dr. Joe Fierro, and I hope you have a great professional workday. Take care.